Hi there, thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you're checking out this recipe for handmade apple pies because these are addictively good. Um, you can enjoy them as a snack or dessert. We really love this in my household. Let me show you a quick sneak peek of the results before we even start the recipe. So look at that. The pastry is flaky, the inside is well filled and very moist. Hope you love this recipe. So we'll get started. You will need 1.5 sticks or 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. It should be cold and from the fridge. Slice it thinly and then set it aside. Then you'll need 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt. Just whisk those together. Then add in the butter. It should be still cold, and just use your hands to mix in the butter into the flour, but do not rub it in because you want to keep the pastry flaky, so you just do not want the butter to melt or to mix too much with the flour yet. Go ahead and add 1/2 cup of cold water, also should be like from the fridge, and add that a little at a time and use a fork to mix because again we do not want to melt the butter. That's very important. So use a fork, and after you add in all the water, you need to keep this dough very firm, so you do not want to overuse water. However, if you use your half a cup of water and you think the dough is still a little bit too firm or there's loose flour hanging around, you might need an additional tablespoon of water, nothing more. You're gonna go ahead and use your hands to press this dough together. You do not need to knead it. Just press it together to form a ball. If you knead it too much, the butter is gonna melt, and then your results might not be too flaky. So just press it together. See, I've formed my ball. It's ready to go. Like I said, if you have too much flour hanging around, you might need an additional tablespoon of water. So now that the dough is ready, I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit and shape it because later I'll be rolling it out. And I shaped this one into a rectangle, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a little circle. It's okay. Place that in the fridge for about an hour. Let it relax. In the meantime, let's make the filling. I'm using 3 Granny Smith apples. Honestly, I love these apples. They are my best choice always, but you could use any other type of apple that you love. Go ahead and slice those very thinly because we're going to be using them as a filling. So if they're too big, they could push through the pastry. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter and then start cooking your apples. You're not going to cook these apples until they are well done because they'll continue cooking in the oven. So go ahead and add brown sugar and a little bit of salt. I have all the ingredients listed in the description box, so no worries, you'll find them. Go ahead and cook the apples until the sugar melts and then add some cinnamon. This is, I would say, optional, but cinnamon makes it a lot better. So add your cinnamon in and continue cooking a little bit more, and then add your cornstarch. About a tablespoon of cornstarch, about 1/4 cup of water. Mix those and add it in to thicken the apple filling. If you use more cornstarch, it's gonna be thicker, but it might get gummy, so you wanna be keen on the amount of cornstarch that you use. Yeah, and at this point, the apples are ready to go. Again, they're gonna continue cooking in the oven, so don't let them get mushy on the pan. Now it's been an hour since the dough has been sitting in the fridge. It's time to roll it out. It's very firm, but that's okay. As you roll it out, you're gonna need some energy. um, Keep it thin. If it's too thick, your pastry, the effects of thickness. It's not gonna be the best. Now I'll be using this dough press here. It's a tool I got from Amazon. If you wanna buy it, check out my description box. There's a link there. Please purchase it through that link, and go ahead and use it to make as many circles as you can, depending on the size that you choose to use. And then you're gonna fill each of these circles. I'm going to demonstrate how to fill the pies using this tool, but you could also fill the pies even without this tool by simply folding over the dough, and I'll be demonstrating that later in this video. So the apples have cooled down. Go ahead and scoop about 2 teaspoons, and just enough depending on the size of your pies. Make sure that you do not overfill because they are going to pop out and the pie will not fill neatly. Yeah, so go ahead and press that and just try to imitate how I'm doing it in case you're using this tool for the first time, because it's easy to mess up when you're using this tool. So do not overfill the pies, and also make sure that let me demonstrate again. Once you place the dough on the pie on the dough press like this, use your fingers to kind of push it out and make it hold on to the teeth of the dough press, because otherwise it won't seal. So you see it's holding on to those the pattern. So when you press, the dough is gonna seal neatly and it's gonna pop out just a little bit on the outside, so that when you open, it actually holds together. Yeah, so just try to do it the way I'm doing it as well. So those are your pies. Now, you're gonna put this in the fridge for 20 minutes, because if you put them in the oven right away, they are going to ooze out butter. So you want that butter to harden up. In the meantime, this is how you can make your pies with just hands if you don't have the tool. Just fold them over. Make sure they don't overlap. Then use a fork to seal them. It's very simple. Or you could cut them up like this into squares and make turnovers, triangular turnovers. Again, you're going to do the same thing, fold them over, make sure they don't overlap, and then use a fork to seal the edges. Easy peasy. So that's done. Put those in the fridge as well. After 20 minutes, we are going to brush these pies with egg wash, just a quick mixture of eggs and milk. And brushing with egg wash is a very important step in this recipe, because if you mess up, they're gonna they're gonna be bad results. For example, if you use too much egg wash on the pies, especially on the edges where there's that cute pattern, it's gonna darken too much. So you wanna brush with just enough egg wash. Another thing, make sure you brush all the edges, because if you leave out some parts without egg wash, they're gonna come out less browned and then they won't be glossy. So you want your pies to be evenly glossy. After you brush with egg wash, go ahead and sprinkle some sugar. Just regular granulated sugar is okay. Sprinkle all over each surface. And then there's one last step of aerating the pies. And you can cut whatever shapes you like to cut here. But this is the standard way of making those little aerations, slits on the pies. Once you're done with that, they're ready to go into the oven. You're going to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and you're going to bake them for 10 minutes at 400, and then at 375 for 20 additional minutes. Also, please check out my books on Amazon. I have nice activity books and books for kids. I'd appreciate your support. Now, the pies are ready. Let's get a final look at what we have. So they look very pretty, I think, but let me show you a 360-degree look of the pies. So as you can see, they oozed out a little bit, and that's okay with me because we just eat this in my household. But if that is a problem with you and you want to prevent the oozing, there's two ways to fix that problem. You could either fill the pies a little less or increase the amount of cornstarch that you use in your pies. And then that would help with reducing the oozing. But yeah, again, look at how amazing they are. And having used Granny Smith apples, these taste absolutely amazing. I just I love them so much. I eat them all the time, and as long as I have time to make them, I do make them. Um, I hope you love this recipe as well. Just look at how appetizing they look, and it's like perfect for all weather. You can just snack on them. You could eat as dessert. You could add a scoop of ice cream on them if you want. So yeah, enjoy. Thank you for checking out this recipe. I'm also gonna show you quickly the results of the smaller pies. Here we go. So you could also make the smaller ones. Again, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you in another video. Bye bye.